Good evening, everyone, or good morning. I think it's like 4:30 or 5 in the morning. Um, Welcome to Black Sun Tarot. We're doing the Twin Flame update for the week, for the first half of July. So July 1st to July 15th. We'll do the Twin Flame update. We're going to look at both of them. Their challenge energies, 3 of them, and 3 ally energies, and then a possible outcome. We'll also, just take a look at some stuff. I did want to pull out my oracle and get an overall energy of just what the soul cut from one cloth is working with this week for the beginning of this month, or sometime this month, I should say. Time is fluid, and of course this is not going to resonate with everybody, and I don't say that in every video, but I should. But I don't, because I forget. For one thing, I'm not good with intros, and half the time, like, I'm doing these things and it's like the 20th time I've tried to do a video and got interrupted. So, like, even if I do a perfect intro, sometimes it doesn't end up on the actual final video because I'm just making up a lot of excuses here to say I don't edit. So I don't have the time for it. But I love to do this, and so here I am doing it. I hope you guys had a great June and things were working out the way are in your highest good. So the overall energy for this reading for these 2 lovelies is isn't that so adorable? It is the celestial toad. Why I gotta be a toad? I feel like frog is a better word. I don't know. It could just be not objective, you know? I'm just not objective. So look to this card to help you express latent powers before they become dormant and are never again capable of being used. Celestial Toad tells you to use them or lose them. This card offers you a new world of opportunity and hidden energetic capabilities. Follow these newly awakened powers, but keep silent when you go for it. Nurturing is in the card. Celestial Toad may bring out your mothering instincts, no matter if you are female or male. Communion with Celestial Toad has the power to sharpen creative vision. You do not have to sell out to dark powers. You can walk the earth roads in balance with light and dark. One must reckon with Toad's life force. Toad is heavily associated with the ball game and ball courts. Holler! No, I'm just kidding. The Toad card may help you see how to deal with the competition. Her guidance can be useful in both physical and spiritual realms. Celestial Toad always tells you to hop to it. Get to it, guys. Interesting energy. I have never even encountered this one, I don't think. If I have, I definitely don't remember. This card is the guardian of your spirit. Okay. So definitely tapping in and to those powers that may not always be available. That's interesting, because you make the assumption, it's like people, you say, oh, well, you know, I take for granted that so-and-so is going to be here tomorrow, or I'm going to be able to pick them up the next day, but none of that is guaranteed. So apparently those powers that you have are not either. You have to use them. I will say that that's true, though, because I had some very strong intuitive powers very early in my life. But I got in a situation, in a very, very relationship where I neglected them a lot and squashed them and hid them. And to a point where I couldn't achieve some of the same spiritual experiences that I had when I was young without even trying. And then I had to go through the whole process of figuring out that I had to use that, you know, so I had to be given the gift back and then use it. And now I'm at this point where I'm using it as part of my mission in life. So that being said, you know, from my own personal experience, I will say that if you are awakening any new powers, or you feeling powerful or awakened in any new way, in the last, 6 or 7 months. Definitely cultivate that. Don't be afraid of it. Don't, what's the word? Don't hide it. It's like a light. Don't put it out. Because if you put it out, it's hard to get that flame again. You might get it again, but it's based on the universe. So here we got 3 challenges for the divine couple. Oh, you know what? I didn't even cut the deck, but we're just going to go for it because I already did. These are the challenges. Page of Swords in reverse. 4 of Swords and the 4 of Coins in reverse. These are challenge energies. So the Page of Swords in reverse could be it could just be like bad news. It's not handling news well. If people are talking bad or thinking bad, or there's some spying going on and some assumptions being made, some gossip or things, it's not being taken well. It's not being taken well at all by someone. So just remember with that energy, those are thoughts and words. Okay? They're swords on the picture, but in real life, they're thoughts and words. So you can't, you don't have to be in that energy. You can finesse that. You can turn that Page of Swords around and finesse through all that hatery situation you feel yourself in. Somebody's feeling that about their choices. So 4 of Swords, another challenge for the couple is rest, renewal, solitude. I think that, what I'm seeing here is that one person is resting. They're both resting in a sense. They put down their main sword and they've hung up 3. So they're like resting on the idea of coming together. They're resting on it. So it's almost like it's not saying it's like knowing the difference between quitting and taking a break. Taking a nap and giving up are 2 totally different things. So that's kind of the challenge now, is to be in that rest period, but still know when to wake up. Because you're not going to sleep. This isn't a death card. This isn't an 8 of Cups moment. This is not, I'm removing myself from the situation, but I am going to rest on it because I need the rest. Mental rest, because it's a lot. 2 4s, and you got 2 4s, the 4 of Coins and the 4 of Swords. So 4 is a good stable number. So he's resting on stability, or she is. They're resting on the idea of stability, but they're resting on the idea of being together, of union, just giving it a rest for a minute. And the 4 of Coins in reverse is coming out of an energy of feeling insecure and worrisome. So as a challenge, the 4 of Coins in reverse is just maintaining and come out of that mindset. Like, you don't, just because the home is lost or this was lost, doesn't mean you have continual loss. You're starting to see that you can come out of this game. Come out of this with a gain. My words are all jumbled today. In my last 2 readings, I don't even know how clearly you could see those things. I might have to redo them, which would be really sucky because they were good readings. But my light wasn't working, so ally cards, 7 of Cups, a lot of emotional options, choices, and then also I feel like it's the emotional maturity to recognize that you have choices and being the ability to make a choice. Okay? You have to be careful, though, with that 7 of Cups energy, because some of those choices are not going to be serving you. So you have to have real good discernment there and look at those cups. And this 7 of Cups, I don't know if you can see it, energy, so that it's not, so that you can get the cup that you want. You're not going to have all 7 of those cups thrown in the air. You're not going to catch all of them. That's what I'm saying. But know which one you want to catch. Stay focused on that. But it's okay to be aware that, you know, you have all these choices. Because if you know you have choices, then you're able to look at them and make a decision instead of trying to act like, oh, well, this ain't, you know, I only got this one thing going on. Or, oh, this is my only choice. Well, you know, it's not your only choice. You have other choices. So you should never feel bullied into a situation where you feel like, well, I don't have any other choices. You might not clearly see them, but in this situation, I feel like both parties are seeing that they have options. They both have options, but they're respectful of the options that are being presented to them. Another ally energy for them is the 6 of Cups. And we have the 8 of Staffs in reverse. So the 6 of Cups moving away, or nostalgia. I'm sorry. Nostalgia, looking back on something with fondness, something with the past life. I think this past life connection that they have is definitely an ally energy. Okay, it keeps them coming back to each other. He's looking forward and he's seeing him or her, and he's looking backward and he's seeing her. See, so they're always like in that circle of repeat with each other, which is an ally for them at this moment because it's keeping this space together where they're taking this rest from the thought of the relationship. The emotional space is still reserved because of the past life connection here. Or past love connection. It's very strong. 8 of Staffs in reverse. It's a delayed energy. There's love here, though. These are the arrows of the heart. So they could be the arrows of war. Very, you know how they said, thin line between love and hate. You have to be careful with this 8 of Wands energy because it can go both ways. And right now, it's coming through as an ally energy, but it's in reverse. So there's some delays, there's some frustrations. There could be somebody wanting to travel and not being able to. I can clearly, I can see that they, if they're not together, if they're resting from each other, that they could possibly be at a point where somebody's frustrated because they want to travel or go make a movement, but they can't. It's really, the timing is not there right now. So for that being an ally energy, though, it's still holding that space of wanting to be in the vicinity of that person. We got 2. No. Okay, and then the possible outcome is the Chariot in reverse, which is, again, a delayed, stalled energy, like no movement. So this rest period, I feel like this beginning part of the July, there's not going to be a lot of movement. There's not. The first part of July. Up into the 15th, I'd say it'd be very stalled. Because both parties are kind of like resting, going within, resting on the idea. And mind you, it's already the 10th now. So this could already been happening for you, or it's, it might start now, or it's already started, or who knows where you are in this cycle of energy. But for this first part of it, it's not going to be a lot of movement. It's going to be 2 people deciding to rest from movement, even though they might be frustrated with that on that action. They need the rest from the mental part of it, and I think too from the emotional part. It's a lot to juggle emotionally with all these options. And though they have the desire to make a move, because if they didn't have the desire to make the move, these cards wouldn't show up at all. Okay? They have the desire, but they cannot make the move. So they also have the frustration. I don't know what happened with that shuffle. It ended up kind of crazy. Let's split this deck and see what's on the bottom of this deck. So it just opened the world. Okay, so there's going to be some type of completion to a cycle, karmic completion, or just completion period of a cycle here. Let's get some clarifications on. I just generally feel like it's not going to be a lot of movement. I feel like they're not too overwhelmed. I mean, they're not handling the way things are. With the Page of Swords in reverse, mentally there's some conflict there. There's some definite conflict. So they're taking that rest. And there's a breakup, the Lovers in reverse. So regarding a breakup and heartbreak, and this is, I think, a lot revolving around this Page of Swords energy. The gossip around the heartbreak, the views around the breakup, the feelings of the heartbreak, the mental. It's causing in this this rest period, this forced rest period, mental rest. You know, because for some of y'all, it was a 3-party situation. So at one point, so there's a lot of pain that goes, you know, because you see this 3 of Swords. So, I mean, yeah, that's probably was a 3-party situation. Lovers break up. That's usually how it goes. So there's a lot of 8 of Swords energy. That's like being up in yourself and your thoughts and being limited by them, by your own fears and insecurities. So somebody's feeling that way in regards to these choices situation. You know, don't feel like you don't, somebody feels like maybe they didn't have a lot of choices, or they don't, you know, they doubt that their choices, they can make the choice. We have the family card, extended family card in reverse. So there could be some shifts, some movement in the family dynamic, extended family dynamic. Again, this has been happening for a couple weeks. And then we have the 4 of Swords energy in reverse. So this is reminding us that this energy, this rest, this break is good to an extent until it's too much. Okay, so they need to be mindful that this energy is fluid. Okay, because then you can be restless and a burnt out, a different kind of energy. Anxiety, you know, even like not resting peacefully, just not being able to rest with it. So you don't want that restful retreat time to turn into some type of anxiety because you're not moving towards each other, because that could be a challenge. Then we have the Queen of Wands, you know, who's very feisty, bold, manifesting, action-oriented energy. So somebody wants to be taking in action. Yeah, somebody wants to be 3 of Wands. They have the desire to action, to make a move and start their journey. I don't understand these delays, though. There may be delay with travel. They can only go but so far at this time. That could have to do with finances. Somebody's holding on tightly, was holding on tightly to their coin. They're just now getting to a point where they feel like they can loosen up a little bit. So part of that could have been them not having the means to travel when they want, or, you know, prioritizing the travel that they want. Then we got the Hermit card in reverse. Somebody's coming out of the Hermit energy. Okay. Which is, it could be someone coming out of the Hermit energy, or it could be the opposite energy, like going too much Hermit. So in this case, I kind of feel like it's across, for some of y'all, it is going to be too much Hermit because it's too much rest. So you're going too much into yourself. But for some of y'all, you've already been in this Hermit energy and you're coming out of it and ready to make a move towards your twin flame. Okay. But there's still this Cancer in reverse, this Chariot in reverse, and these 8 of Swords in reverse. So I'm not sure what that's about. Because it seems like you're ready to make moves, but you just don't have the means necessarily all put together to make the move. Something is holding you back. So we have the Star card, just reminding them to nurture their spiritual selves, pretty much. Nurture your spiritual selves and continue to pour into each other and God and spiritually, because this is the Two of Cups too. Okay, but what came out when I said what's holding them back? This came out again. This is the two. I say again, it's a totally different card. This is the Two of Cups in reverse. This is the Lovers in reverse. Okay, this is the Twin Flame card. Upright. So what's going on here? Well, I'll tell you what's going on. There was a breakup. Okay, there was a breakup. There was a three-party situation. There was a breakup. Partly what's holding them back is this separation. The fact that they're not together, because this is also a twin flame, so this is a soulmate card. You could read it as a separate energy, but I also feel like since this already came out as the Lovers and it was in reverse with the heartache, that's that scenario. That's that third party scenario. Boom. Okay. This is the soulmate card. So this could very well be synonymous with this twin flame card. But so you're moving forward towards this twin flame. That's where the direction is going. But currently what's blocking y'all from coming this action is that y'all aren't together. Which is crazy because it's like you have to be together to be together. But y'all can't come together. Or you're having trouble coming together because you're not together. Like you're not really, may not be in communication with each other. You're not spending time with each other. So it's like you're not nurturing that energy to come together with the Eight of Staffs in an upright position, which is like, boom, like, you know, sudden shift, transformation, like lightning strike. That's what the Eight of Staffs is like, lightning strike. You can't come together like that if you guys are not communicating. You guys are not, you know, what do they call it? Dry flirting? I don't know. That kind of thing. It has to be nurtured. And then once it is, boom, look what happens. Boom, Eight of Swords comes back. Eight of Staffs comes back in the upright position. So, if you, the message here is basically, if you start putting that time in, if you can find that space, then you'll find that the energy shifts for that Eight of Staffs. It won't be such a delay. It's going to be like a boom. It could be like lightning strike. So, any other messages? We can wrap this up. I just think it's funny, or it's just like the situation where you have to have something happen for something else to happen, like dominoes. You can't nurture energy coming together if the energy is not being nurtured to come together. So that's the it's like a tongue twister. It's hard to manage and do, but once you start saying it, then you're saying it. I don't know if that makes any sense. Okay. And we have the Ace of Cups here. Okay, so this is a new opportunity in love. Okay, something to build upon. But this is an ace, so this needs to be built upon. Okay? Let's see what the Romance Oracle has. Messages for you guys. That is so trips me out that it's basically saying what's keeping y'all apart are y'all. Y'all are keeping y'all apart. Because you're resting. because you're so overloaded with all these emotions. But I mean, it's like at some point you have to give in or allow yourself to have faith in what is to be. Because if you don't have faith in those cups, you're never going to get to this point where, I mean, I feel like you have to get to this point, be at this point for a minute before you can just be like, oh my gosh, we're just united. You know, like, it's just, yeah, it's funny. It's totally funny. So what messages do we have for the Twin Flame Collective? So it's like, first of all, like, okay, it's a reading of no movement until people start putting time into the cups that they matter to them, till they get out of this 7 of Cup energy and decide to, okay, focus on these 2 cups that are not together right now. I want to focus on these 2, and what am I putting in these 2 cups? And out of those 2 cups comes the Ace of Cups, a brand new beginning. And out of that comes the 8 of Swords in the right direction. Okay, so out of that comes quick, sudden, miracle, miraculous. Like we moving, we taking jets, we traveling, we going on vacation, boo. We spending time together. That's where that is. You know what I'm saying? That's where you want to be if you want to manifest this Ace of Cups energy. And this Twin Flame energy, and reverse that 2 of Cups where you're apart. And move away from this broken lovers. That was a karmic relationship that ended, and it's ended. And it did cause pain, and it caused mental anxiety, and it caused insecurities and fears. But it also allowed you to open up and see that y'all had some options on the table. And then now you have the opportunity to cultivate the options that you choose to see as the most fulfilling cups for you. Something fell out here. So, messages from the goddess, love, romance goddess thing, whatever. Oh my gosh, I'm so funny. You deserve love. You are lovable. So, like, the same thing with the 2 of Cups in reverse. You know, you have to get to that point where you know you deserve it. Okay? You deserve love. You have to be able to stand there on equal ground. They're standing on equal ground because they feel equitable. They both feel worthy here. Okay? They both feel worthy and fair and balanced. They both have a balanced cup. So, knowing that you are lovable. And then what came out with that was new love. A new person has stirred your romantic feelings. So this could be somebody else coming out of the fray here. We did have, I think in one other reading, I want to say Divine Masculine, where there was some competition he was dealing with. So, you know, there could be some new. That Ace of Cups could be coming from a different direction. I do feel like it's coming from your twin flame direction, though. So whatever, or a soulmate direction. It's either or. It could be either or. But either or, if you have 2 choices like that, they're both spiritually for your growth. If that makes sense. You know, so if you're getting involved with another karmic partner, a soulmate, it's still a soulmate that's part of your spiritual evolution. If you're getting together with your twin flame, and you know that's your twin flame, and that's for sure, you know, then that's still part of your spiritual evolution. But it might not be that timing. Here's another one. Keep an open mind. Your soulmate may differ from your usual type and expectations. Just like I said, you know, you could be dealing with more than one person, and undoubtedly some of you are here. Okay, because again, we do have like almost 3 relationships on the table. Or, you know, one that it could be read as 2 or 3, depending on the scenario. You know, you have to know your scenario to know where you lie. But there's one relationship that was very karmic, and it's over. Okay, that had to do with the 3-party situation. There's another relationship that's very karmic, soulmate type energy, where you're not together. Okay, and then you have a very strong twin flame connection that is moving towards union, but it's not there yet. Okay, so you could read that soulmate connection and twin flame as one, or those could be two different options, which means there's three potential relationships on this table right now. One is broken up and over and had a lot of pain associated with it. And the other two are still, they could be one and the same, or they could be two different options at this point. But neither of them is like going to be, are associated with the devil energy or anything like that. You know, they're associated to your highest good. And you really can't go wrong. Reconciliation, someone from your past is returning to your life. So see, it feels like someone could have someone old and someone new. Or it could be that someone old is coming back and it's new. It's a brand new love. It's not the old thing, which would go back to the Six of Cups in reverse, which we saw, which would be like letting go of the old ways of doing things. I don't even know if that was in this reading. Actually, that was in a different reading, wasn't it? Yeah. But anyway, yeah, reconciliation. So someone is definitely dealing with someone from the past. It could be coming from the past and you having to recognize that, yes, this is a past situation, but this is a past person, but this is a new love. Okay? So I need to treat it with its own respect, not from with past energies. So it could be that scenario, or it could be two totally different scenarios here for some of you guys. Some of you guys have someone from the past coming in, sorry. And then you have someone new here. Both soul tied to you. Oh, Jesus. Yeah. So I hope that reading resonates with you guys. I appreciate all your likes and subscribes.